السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Seems no student will attend today, so I will wait for a few minutes. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Muhammad? And Omar. Okay, it seems today we have 2 students only. Still 4 students did not attend. We will wait only for a few minutes, then we will start, inshallah.
Okay, doctor. Do you hear me?
Yes, I
Okay,
hear you.
because in previous lecture I was have problem in my mic.
Okay, just
Good morning, everyone.
2-3 minutes and we will start, inshallah.
So, if you want, for example, to look at a
Sorry, Omar. Omar.
yeah, doctor, I hear you.
Yeah, Omar, what you have said?
No, just I ask you about my mic, but I have another lecture. It will be end in maybe 2 minutes with Dr. Adib. So maybe you hear the voice from the lecture, not from me.
Yeah, it's okay. We will start,
Okay.
inshallah, after 2 minutes. Anyway, I'm planning to change the time for this lecture, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay. Now, both of you around. Muhammad, have you finished?
Yes, doctor, I am with you.
Okay. Where are you from, Muhammad?
I am from Iraq, Mosul city, specifically, doctor.
Which city?
Mosul.
Mosul.
Yes.
And
Okay.
Omar, you are around?
Yeah,
or
doctor. I'm also from Iraq, from Ramadi city.
Okay, nice. Okay, unfortunately, we have 4 absent students. They already registered a course, but they did not attend. I don't know why. Both of you now in Iraq or here in Karabukh?
No, for me, I am in Iraq now. I am planning to come to visit Karabukh maybe next week or after 2 weeks later, because we have a total lockdown for these 2 weeks because of the second wave of coronavirus.
Okay, okay. And how many years you have been in PhD here, Muhammad?
For me, it is the second semester. I started my PhD program in September, last September,
Okay.
2020. I am start my PhD.
And Omar?
It is my second course in PhD study.
Okay.
Also, I am right now I am in Iraq, you know, because it's coronavirus. I visited
It's okay.
Karabukh
Then this
before.
second
Yeah.
semester.
Yeah. It's for second
Yeah.
semester for me.
My advice for both of you to focus during your study, because maybe you heard that after 2 years you have like a comprehensive exam, yeterlik exam. So you this before after finishing all the courses, you have like I know both of you speak Arabic, yes? امتحان
Yes.
شامل, comprehensive exam.
دكتور. نعم
Yeah.
دكتور.
Comprehensive exam. It's written and oral. So
Yes.
unfortunately, last semester, two students, we have many students, maybe around 60, but two students did not pass the exam, especially oral exam. So when your supervisor said you have to start to prepare yourself for this exam, yeterlik exam, you have to focus and don't delay it until last day, because it's serious. Yeah. You know, it's not only research for PhD here in Turkey. You have courses and research. Maybe the situation in some countries like Malaysia different. You have only research. So all the best for you. I think both of you at least have good background about database systems. Actually, I was planning to give this course as more advanced database, but when I checked with previous doctors, I changed my mind. I changed the syllabus to be maybe little bit easier than what I was planning. Okay.
Okay.
I think it's better for you anyway. Okay.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. First, how are you, Ahmed?
I'm good. What about you?
Alhamdulillah, fine. Ahmed, your supervisor, Dr. Hakan, yes?
No.
Ahmed.
My supervisor, me or
Prof. Ismail. I cannot hear you.
my supervisor, Dursun Ekmekci.
Doctor?
My supervisor, Dr. Dursun Ekmekci. Yes.
Okay, where are you from, Ahmad?
Yeah, I am from Iraq.
Oh, mashallah. We have 3 Iraqi students now
Yes.
in this group. Okay, nice. Okay, Omar. Anyway, I will share my screen for syllabus.
Yes.
Okay, Omar, please come again in a few minutes because I'm planning to change the time for this course. Okay, so we discuss about the time after a few minutes. Okay, this is our course content this semester. I think maybe first 7 weeks it will be much simple for you. Actually, I'm planning to focus more in this week's in practical issues, like more examples, not only the theoretical terms and something like this, because I need from you to know how it's work, how to build ER diagram, how to use relational algebra and relational calculus, how to really build your database, not only know the terms, because I know most of you, as I guess, have background about database and database systems, and as I checked, some of you already took courses about database. Then, after speaking about some introduction about database, and then we start speaking about data modeling, ER diagram, then relational data model, relational algebra, relational calculus, then mapping from ER diagram after building the ER diagram, mapping it to relational model or tables. Okay, term relation, when we use term relation, it's same idea like table. Student relation, student table, course, student, for example, in a company database, staff or employee and customers, blah. All this data stored in relation or tables in the database. So term relation and table, we will use, it's a similar term. Yes?
Doctor, from the syllabus, I understand we have to spend this first 7 weeks on يعني, relational database and on mapping ER diagram. And after the
Yes.
midterm, we will start the SQL coding.
No, we will start SQL before the midterm.
That is better.
Yeah, after midterm, we start with advanced SQL queries. Okay, and we will take like introduction before the midterm about PostgreSQL, and we will really use it after the midterm. So all the examples we will apply using it. Also, we will speak about BL-SQL, which related to PostgreSQL, which called PGSQL. Okay, procedural language SQL for PostgreSQL. Then we will speak about transaction processing, and we will apply this things also for PostgreSQL. Then, starting from week 13, each student should do presentation for specific subjects. So I give you the subject in the syllabus here. Maybe I will add 1 or 2 subjects depending on the number of the students. More students, this means more subject, because I need each student to speak in different subject. About this presentation, maybe within 2 weeks, each student should select different subject. Okay, we have subjects for a presentation like big data, not only SQL database, data mining. You need to do like what we called like summary for this subject, maybe around 10 pages, and make a presentation like half an hour, maybe on week 13. Each student will have presentation like 30 minutes. You can start to focus in one of this subject, but I prefer to organize this early so each student know his presentation subject.
Sorry, Doctor, it is like final exam or what? This is presentation?
No,
Like
no, no. Okay, if you check in the syllabus,
Yes.
I know most students focus on the marks or score
Yes.
first, not on the content. But we need both. We need to have idea about the subjects, and for the presentation you have 10 marks. I will add it to the final. As you know, the final exam will be 60, but I will calculate it like 50, and I will add this presentation 10 marks to the final exam, inshallah.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay, then we have 30% for the midterm exam. We will have some homework like drawing ER diagram or building some queries. Okay, this also 10%. I will add this 10% to midterm to become 40. Okay, the midterm exam will be 30 plus the homework, and the final exam will be 50 plus the term paper or the presentation.
Yes.
If we have enough time, we will speak about XML, Extensible Markup Language, and hopefully we will have time to know more information about XML. I will give it after the presentation. Hopefully presentation will not take more than 1 week to have time for XML. That's about the content of this course. Ahmad, you already registered this course or you plan to add it? I don't know. I did not check the names yet.
No, doctor, I will add.
Oh, you still did not add this course.
Yes, I will add today.
Okay.
Me too, doctor. Me too. The same situation. I will
Yes,
add it.
I replied to your message, and seems one of you gave it to Ahmad.
Yeah.
I don't know which one your friend, Omar or Mahmoud.
All my friend.
Yeah, because Mahmoud asked me and Omar asked me, I replied to both of you, but you did not ask me. So I wonder from where you get the code.
My friend Basim, he said to me, if you want, you can join to this course, and he sent to me picture of the code, and I joined.
Which
Also,
one?
Basim. Also, he take from another friend like this.
Okay.
Yeah, and he said to me.
Because I wonder, the 4 students that registered it formally, already registered it, they did not attend.
Yes.
Okay.
Doctor, there's a problem in the system. We couldn't see the courses that are taught in English for master program. For this reason, we don't see your course on the selection list.
No, I mean, I have already 4 students that already registered.
Yes, I understand. They don't come. They don't come.
Yeah,
maybe they are new.
They don't come.
Maybe it's the first course for them, the first semester for them, and they don't know how to attend course in this application.
Actually, I know 3 of them. I will try to contact them. But the 4th, I don't know him. So
what's his name? Maybe we know him.
let me check the system.
Yeah, we have, foreigner students have a WhatsApp group. Maybe we can ask him or send him a message directly by this group.
I think he's not foreigner. Let me check. Okay. Oh, internet today in Karabuk very bad. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Doctor, you have to try the internet in Iraq at first. Then you will see your internet is good.
No, actually, I have good connection, good internet connection. I have 100 megabyte speed, but I don't know today. Okay, I think his name Mustafa Abdullah.
I think
Mustafa Kamil Abdullah.
I think all of the students are from Iraq, almost. 98%.
Yes, he's a master student. Master, not PhD. Think all of you PhD, yes?
Yes.
Doctor, I am also master.
You, Ahmad, you are master student.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Good luck, inshallah.
Thank you.
Okay. About the time, I will share my schedule with you.
Doctor, for the moment, we are only 7 students or 8 students?
I have already, I think, 4 students already registered. With 3 of you will become 7.
7.
I have
Okay,
4 only. Yeah.
Okay.
I think last semester the number was much bigger. Yeah.
Near 70, 65 or 70.
Yes, it
Well,
was 7.
Yeah.
a problem even for the professor himself. You know, he canceled the final term paper because he said you are a lot of students. I cannot evaluate your performance in papers. He canceled the homework degree. Even most of the students.
Yeah. Actually, also it's difficult to do exam because you know subject like database, it's not good to ask only true or false or multiple choice. Yeah, you need to draw ER diagram, to write some SQL. So it's difficult to make it online, actually.
Yes, the problem.
Yes,
This is the side effect of Corona, doctor.
Yes. Okay. I plan to bring this database course from here from Monday to Wednesday
Mm.
between 4 p.m. and around 6 p.m. finish, something like this. Check your schedule, please, your current courses.
Okay, doctor, I will check.
I will
think
check that. Wednesday. Okay.
As a PhD course, we don't have any course in Wednesday.
Okay, then it's good, I think.
In, I have one course from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. It's okay.
Okay, it's still available.
Yeah, yeah, I can
I
join.
think we can organize it with a small number of students. It will be much easy to change the time. So this is planned time from my side because I need this Monday for many things. So usually Monday I become busy. Yeah. That's why I prefer to make it empty from classes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, doctor.
I don't want to repeat this lecture. So I don't know, maybe we can just make it again in Wednesday, or I prefer to bring the other students and make it on, or let's continue and let them watch the video. It's their responsibility also. And we start from not this Wednesday, Wednesday of next week, not this week. Okay?
Okay, doctor. I not this week and next week. And Monday we'll join.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Okay, I will communicate with you using Telegram group. Please join Telegram group. I know Muhammad already joined Telegram group. So Omar and Ahmed, please join it. I already put the link here in.
Where, doctor? Message.
You can find. You can find it in this group, this team.
This team.
You just where you join this meeting.
Yes.
At the top, you can find our Telegram group link. So about the book, it will be fundamental of database systems. I think you know it. It's a famous book. I will also send you the book in our Telegram
Yes,
group.
doctor, I joined.
Okay, good. As you can see in the syllabus, I will return to the syllabus. Let me share the screen. Okay. As you can see in the syllabus, I mentioned the book chapters. Okay. I mean this book, the fundamental of database. Some parts of the course will depend also on online tutorials or other books. I will also send you when we reach it, especially when we speak about PostgreSQL. I have some books about it, but I prefer that we focus on the subjects. When we have subject, for example, about the transaction processing using PostgreSQL, we will use online tutorial. I will give you the link, maybe before the class, not during the class, to prepare your self if you like to prepare. Yeah. I mentioned the chapters here, so if you want to read something or prepare something before the class. Okay. Oh, many pages I open here. Okay. Then, as I mentioned, our book will be Fundamentals of Database Systems, 7th edition. First chapter, just introduction. That's why we will speak about it very quickly. I need to know some background about you very quickly. So, how many database courses have you taken before? Yeah? Hello?
Yeah, can I start? Yeah, okay. I took this course in master degree, and I take it in last semester, but I don't have chance to pass it.
Yes, I checked that many students did not pass it. May I know the reason?
Doctor, to be honest, the problem was in time for the exam. You are giving this course, and you know we cannot write a SQL query and not small query. It's you ask me an exam to do 3 query in 10 minutes, and I'm in exam, so I cannot do it. I just maybe can do 1 or 2. And for PhD student, the success grade is more than 70. So I took the 70 in final exam, and I can pass this course. This is
Okay,
the
okay.
reason.
Let me just ask you here.
Yeah.
How many questions in the exam?
Doctor,
There are 3 questions. Okay. The first question is multi-choice question, and there are just 15 minutes to do it. It's 11 multi-choice question. The second one is to write 3 query about employee database, and the time is
Okay.
just 10 minutes. And the third question is about
What's the type of exam?
Pagella.
Is it online or paper exam?
No, it's online. Also, in
Using
second in midterm exam, I faced a problem with the question was about to draw and write the relation schema, and I draw it by paper. So I sent it by paper to external paper to doctor, and he didn't accept it. So it's the problem was in exam, not in understand course. Exam
okay.
strategy for the exam. Most of
Okay.
students face this problem.
Actually, I plan to give a paper exam, and you uh, take photos for the exam, maybe scan the exam and send it timely. Yeah, I mean
yes,
during the exam. Okay.
yes, doctor, it is more flexibility because in limit time and by online, the internet is not good and we can't write this query in this time, in limit time.
No, actually, I plan to make the exam in front of Microsoft Team like this.
Yes, no problem.
You open the camera and you have the exam and write the answer in front of me, and then scan it and send it.
Okay, it's okay for us to do it like this, or we can also do it online, but we need more time. You know, it's a lot when we use SQL, it's
Yes,
like a programming. So we need
And
time to
no,
imagine and to have.
because it's small number of students,
Okay,
so I plan to make it a paper exam
it's a
because
good idea.
we have many questions that need the writing and need the drawing, and it's better to have paper to draw if you want to draw ER diagram.
yes, doctor.
Yeah.
So sorry, I will go through this course like you don't know database, because we have other students that did not took the course before, so maybe you feel some boring to repeat uh, some information. Okay.
Okay,
It's okay
but
for us.
no, doctor, no.
but I cannot treat all the students like they know the course. Okay, some
Yeah.
students they not took it before. I know some students took it. I have 2 students that did not took the course before, and it seems like 5 students already took this course before, but they did not had enough luck to pass it. So it's okay. Hopefully you will, all of you, get good mark in this course, inshallah.
Inshallah.
For me, it's not about marks, about understanding. If you understand the course well, you will get the marks that you deserve, inshallah.
Inshallah.
We hope that.
Then this terms should be easy for all of you. It's about data, database, and DBMS. Data, in short, in a few words, it's raw facts like names, numbers, students number, student name, like this. But database, it's a collection of logically related data. This means this collection of data have relation between each other. Like if you speak about the company database, you have, for example, the employees, you have the projects, you have the customers. Then there is a relation between employees, employees data and project data, and also customer data have relation with employee data. This employee responsible for this customer, this employee working in this project related to this customer. As you see, it should be related to be database. Then database, highly organized, interrelated, should be relation between this data, logically relation between this data to form database. DBMS is a collection of software. It's a software system. It's have maybe more than one program to help you to manage your database, construct the database, manipulate the database, share database between users and applications. We will speak about this tiers for relation between users, application, DBMS, and the stored data. Okay, as you can see, many information. It's a basic information, and many of you already took at least one course, one database course in bachelor degree or something like this. Okay, you know, we have the traditional database. Most type of this traditional database is the common type is relational database, which have numeric and text values, or usually you store numbers, you store text in this type of data. But in the recent application, we have more data, we have bigger data, we have more types of data. So traditional database will not be enough here. For example, using internet, using search engines, using social media and social softwares, generate too many data with different type of shapes. So more terms become okay, appears here, like biological database, geographical information system database, and data warehouses, because if you have data come from different sources with different shapes, traditional database will not be appropriate here. This type of database, I think you will make presentation for many types, but we will focus here for the traditional database. I mean the relational database. About the presentation, I know some of you will ask me that other students or all of us will be responsible in the exam about the content of other students' representation. I know this type of questions. No, you will be responsible about what subjects I will give you. The presentation maybe during the discussion or to give information and to discuss the information between all of us, inshallah. Okay, for the modern database and this big data and too much information and data collected from Facebook, for example, Twitter, social media, and search engine like Google, Bing. Not all of this data formed like SQL. So relational database here will not be applicable. Some of data will be like SQL. So a new term like NoSQL, it's actually not NoSQL. It's not only SQL. This means this type of new data, you have some data SQL data similar to SQL, structured query, and some data it's not structured and different shape like photos, like click, like for example surfing in the internet. All this data all the time gathering and will be located in many devices. So many terms appear here, like distributed database. You have many devices. Why? Because you have here big data, too many data to be stored in only one device. Okay. About the big data, one of you will do research about it and make presentation, but in short, big data mean you have high volume of data because it's come from many ways. For example, Facebook or some social softwares gather too many of data. I think all of you heard about the new term for use What's up? It's all about data and gathering this data. This high volume of data with high velocity. High velocity here because it's speedily created, accumulated, and become bigger very fast. Okay, so this characters of big data. It's have high volume, high velocity. This means it's grow in very speed way, and high variety. You have data from clicks, you have data from likes, you have data from, for example, searching. Some data it's photos, some data voice, some data. Okay, you have high variety. It's not only one type of data. And another, they call this 3 V's: volume, velocity, and variety. And they add another 2 characters later for big data, like veracity. This means the trust of this data. This means if this data it will give me what I need exactly. This means the trust, not just trust. It's about security. It's about when I analyze this data. Is it good data to give me the information? This also the value. Okay. Then how much I can trust the accuracy for this data, this veracity, and value. This data after analysis will give me what I need from it. So is it valuable for me? Have good value for me? High value for me? So this are characters for big data. Of course, many sectors use big data and generate big data, like government, e-government, and government use this data, as you know, for many things, for the country's security and for monitoring the criminals and many things, and for make decision, also for planning. So they collect too many of data from many sources. Even previous president for USA, Trump, used big data to win the election. I think all of you know this this issue or heard about this issue. He used one company to analyze data collected from Facebook and other sources. So in private sectors also, they using big data, like Facebook and credit card systems. They have also a big size data, usually distributed database. In science also, if some or one of you use GIS, if you look to the maps in GIS, you will find some maps, big maps. Usually you have 100 gigabyte or something like this. And after analyzing the data, it will become bigger and bigger. That's why companies like Google give some softwares and facilities to analyze this online and just give you the result, because it's over the power of our normal computers. Yes? Usually, life cycle for database will not stop. Okay, you have applications. These applications give you data. This data will be aggregate and will be scattered. Then you will analyze this data to get knowledge. This knowledge will return to application. Application will collect more data and so on. If you need example, remove the word application and put, for example, Facebook. Facebook usually collect log data from you, and then this data will be analyzed, give knowledge for the application, and the application will continue collecting data, and so on. Here for computational view for big data. Okay, you get the data, formatting the data, and clean any unneeded part from this data. Then, of course, using applications to understand this data, for example, image processing, computer vision, speech recognition. Then you usually, the softwares usually collect this type of data in distributed database or in data warehouses for future use. And this data could be used timely also to give information through interface, data visualization interface or software to the human. But this data usually collected in data warehouses, and then you will use techniques like data mining and machine learning to understand this data and use this data. So computer vision and speech recognition could be used directly from the user, or this data could be stored for more use or more understanding, comparing this data with each other to learn your machine or model from this data set later and use it. Like, for example, in GIS, they use data from data warehouses that collected from previous years to analyze this data and model this data using machine learning to understand this data and to predict new things from this data. These definitions, we already speak about it. This lecture today it's like in Arabic مقبلات, yes.
Yeah, introducing.
Yes, it's for all of you and even me, it's a boring issue. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay to.
Okay. Usually in database, you have many levels to use the data. For the end user usually will interact with the database from a view level. This view level is very important for the security of the database. So you give a view from the database depending on the job for this user, for the end user, and the authorization for this user. For example, if you have like here instructor information, instructor, this means teacher. Okay, you have some information like name, ID, department, salary. For example, student, if want to check online information about the instructor, maybe can just only have the name and department for this instructor. But for example, staff from the maybe head of the department can see other information like ID, like salary. Okay, it's depend on the level of the user. So this architecture help to protect database. Then, as DBA or database administrator, you usually create different view for different user or different privilege. This is the architecture for database system. Any database system have three levels here: DBMS software and application, programs, and storage database. For example, if you have a website building using PHP, for example, PHP. This PHP, it's the application, PHP and JavaScript and blah. DBMS, the software that used to understand or manipulate the queries and to create and sort the database. Like, for example, with PHP, we usually use MySQL. As another examples for DBMS, like Oracle, like PostgreSQL, like SQL Server. It's a software that will help you as developer or as DBA to create and manipulate the database. But the interface to use this database will be application programs. Usually, for example, you have your database. Let's take example in Microsoft. Give you a SQL server. It's a DBMS. But to use this database that will be managed and will be created using SQL Server, you could build your application using C# or using VB.NET or using any application. Okay, data that's stored in the database usually have two parts: the dictionary or the definition or the metadata and the stored data. Definition or metadata describe the shape and describe the content of the database, and you have the content, the stored data. For example, if you have a table for students, then the name of the table, the name of the columns, and the data type of each column, the size of each column in the database. This we called it metadata or dictionary of the data or data definition. Then you have the stored data, which should be depending on this shape or this description for the data. Like example, the numbers of the students, student number X, Y, Z, name, blah, 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 courses, the real data, okay? And it's depend on the definition for this data in the metadata. So database, storage database, have definition for the shape of this database and the real data that is stored. This another architecture, it's depend on the user and what facilities from DBMS will given for each user. Like DBA, database administrator, he's a person that use data definition language statement to create the database and to give the privilege. Privilege for security purpose, like the users and each user what privilege will have to use the database. And for the end user, you have application programmer that will build the user interfaces, and this user programmer usually use a DML language inside his softwares. And you have parametric users. This user have a predefined SQL like or transaction like buttons for add, buttons for delete, buttons for query. But we have another type of end user, we called it casual user. This more sophisticated user, like managers or like analyzer for the data, that the system will give some ability to make more interactive query, could write his own query to get data from database. Okay, then this another architecture for a database system depending on the different type of user. And in database, you have the catalog always and stored data. Each part that will use the database should depend on the shape, the definition of this database in the catalog. Okay, I think you can read the remaining parts here. It's just to speak about the functionalities that should be in the data base management system, DBMS, like should give you the ability to manipulate the data for retrieval queries and modification, insertion, deletion, and update and processing, sharing the data. Many functionalities and facilities should exist in DBMS system, like security issues and protection of database. During this course, this book depend on database example university. It's good to have one example like this, and each chapter you will add for this example and or for this database and apply everything on it. So it's better for understanding. That's why many lecture around the world like this book. Actually, for me, when I studied also bachelor degree and master degree, we use the same book also, but previous versions. Okay, so I like this book because the organization for this book and the examples, it's related, so you don't miss the idea, because not every time you need to understand the example. Okay, that's a good idea from the this author for this book. So it's speak about university database. Sometimes not important. It's come from the author, like many words. He means many words. If you imagine real world around you, and you take part from this word and define it in the database. Like example, we have our word, we have universities, then you take this university and build database for it. So he called it mini word. So this is the meaning of many words here. It's part from the real world that will be conflicted in this database, will be built using this database. Here he speak about university database, have some entities or some relation or some tables. Of course, there's big difference between them, because entities, you speak about the things that you get from the mini word directly, but relation or table, some tables or relation, not actually entity, could be relation between other entities. When we speak about mapping and between ER diagram and relational model, we will speak about this issue. Okay, then we have entities in this example. It's good to understand the example because this example will be with us during the whole course. Of course, in some parts, especially SQL and BLSQL, we will take more examples. But during ER diagram, we have many examples from this mini word, university. Okay. So he give you examples here from the relationship between entities. Like in the university, you have sections, like our section, and this section is related to courses. Like for example, in our course we have one section, but in some courses, for example, programming language, usually we have many sections. So section is are of specific course. It's related to specific course, and you have students that take sections. Then you can see the relation here. Students take section are of a specific course, and course will have some prerequisite course. Instructor give sections, and sections are of a specific course. Okay, courses also related or offered by department. Sorry, it should be here. And student major in department. As you can see, that's why we when we define database, we said it's a collection of logically related data. There is logically relation here between each entity from this mini word, or relationship between these entities. You can describe this data, or you can make model for this data using entity relationship or UML class model. Usually we use UML class model for object oriented database, and some database that use applications for object-oriented application. So we will speak about UML also. It's very interesting way for make a conceptual data model. Okay, and then he gave you example to be more familiar with this database that we will use it during the other chapters. Sorry, I did not give a break. Maybe we will finish early, inshallah. I don't know. It should be end at what time?
Okay, doctor.
Should be in at 12:30. Seems I will give the whole time, but we did not actually take too many things here.
But doctor, also not too much student attended in this course.
Yeah, that's why I'm not motivated to go deeply through
yes,
the.
yes. Because we have many students, they fail in this course, but they didn't join because today the system is open, and they don't know about the time of the course.
Okay.
Maybe
Then
next
I expected more students in the future.
Yeah, it will be more students they will join, because too much students they fail in this course.
Oh, this is
Maybe 40, maybe
very
50.
sad. Yeah. 40.
Yes, yeah, maybe, because
Oh,
many
I
people
hear that many students failed in this course, but I did not expect that the number it's too much like this.
yeah, because
the success percentage of this course was, I think it is less than 15.
yes,
15%.
that's 15.
Oh,
15%.
Hopefully you will just focus with me, and inshallah you will get good percent, inshallah, good mark. Okay, you can, when we speak about relational model, you can imagine a relation like table, any table, even Excel table. It's similar idea. So we call this relation in relational model. We don't call it table. Okay, it's relation. We call it relation. You have columns and rows in the relation. Of course, later we will speak how to mapping from ER diagram to relational model, and during this mapping you can see that some entities will be divided, some relationship between entities will become a relation. We have many rules here that we have to follow to sure about the integrity and accuracy of our data in the database. Later we will speak about this issues even after mapping from ER diagram to relational model. You will apply some normalization form. I think you heard about this normalization form. We will give example. Then after normalization form, you will see some relations that will be divided into more relation, or some tables that will be divided into more tables to be sure about the integrity and accuracy of your database. Okay, I think you can read this. Because it's not too much time remain, I will check what we have. About the database user, I already mentioned it. We have two levels, or we called it actors on the sense that already involved in this database, in specific database, in building, developing, design database, and in using the database. This type of actors, we called it actors on the sense. Okay. And you have some actors that build and design the DBMS itself. It's not our work, okay? It's the work of big companies like Oracle, like Microsoft. Hopefully, one of you will get the opportunity to work in such companies in the future, inshallah. So we call this worker or actors behind the scenes. It's not our focus, we focus here. Then we have users that working in design, develop, and maintain database, like the developer, the DBMS, the designer, and we have some actors or some users that use the end software of this database, using the application interface to use and control the database. So divide here the actors on the sense to database administrator. His job to data definition use data definition language to create the database and to give privileges and security issues about the database. The database designer that responsible to define the structure and the content of the database. And we have the end user. As I mentioned, we have the casual and parametric end user. Parametric end user, most end user consider parametric end user that will use, we called it canned transaction, ready transaction, like click some buttons to add or delete or to get reports from the database. And casual database that will use more sophisticated part from that database. They can write some queries because they need more connection to analyze and understand the data. Sophisticated like engineers, scientists that will use this data base to understand the data. Okay, and standalone user, like if you use Access or if you use Excel sheet to build some tables for your personal data, okay, or personal database. Okay, I think that's all in this because the time already finished here. It's speak about when not to use DBMS, because DBMS, as you know, usually expensive and not everything you really need DBMS for your job. So here speak about some situations that it's not necessary to use DBMS. Okay, that's all for first chapter. Inshallah, in the next class we will speak about ER diagram. I like ER diagram too much, so we will focus about examples more than the terms. Okay, you can read the terms yourself. All of you master and PhD students, so no need to except if these terms need some understanding. Okay, so we can speak about it, but we will focus more about how, not what. Not what is the information here, how to use this, okay, more than what this or what's this. No, how to use this, how to draw your ER diagram correctly, how to reach ER diagram. Actually, you need to do some steps to reach your ER diagram and to build it correctly. Okay, that's all for today. Inshallah, we will meet on Wednesday, not this Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Next.
Okay, next week, because we already took our class this week. So Wednesday in the second week. I will confirm this with you in the Telegram. So it could be on Monday or Wednesday. depending on if I can reach the other students and make the adjustment for the time, inshallah.
Okay, doctor.
Okay, I will send this slides and the book and the syllabus to Telegram group, and see you next week, inshallah.
Doctor, just one thing, please. We need to select this course now, add it. So we can't find it. We can't reach it in system, in OBS system. So why it is not appear for us? Do you have any idea about this?
Let me, your supervisor should do it for you. I read something from another supervisor.
Yeah.
Let me forward it. Wait.
I already
If you
checked
don't
with
have
him.
a class,
I
it's
told
okay
him
for me.
before.
You can hit.
Yeah, I told him I failed in one course. I want to add it. He told me in add drop period time we can't do this. So it is his authority to add this course or not for me. Am I right?
You can take it because even if it's not in your list, okay, you can take it. Okay, this message from supervisor, I will go from my phone. Okay, let me join the team from my phone. Okay. Okay. This message, you can see, let me now go out from here. If you read this message, it's from Prof. Ismail to his student. You can read the message here.
Yeah.
All courses can be selected from all programs if they are appointed you or to you by your supervisor. Then, even if you cannot find the course, your supervisor can appoint it, can give it to you. Then this from Prof. Ismail. I realize that I can select courses from the different programs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But for you, it's not a problem because you are in PhD or Master English. Okay.
Yeah.
And this course for Master in English, so you will not have this problem. He speak with this, some of his students that under Turkish program. So it will not appear for different language, but you are under the same language. Okay, so it should not be a problem for you, but even if it's not appear for you, your supervisor can make it. But if you plan to do this, when the add and delete, add and drop courses, I don't know if it's started.
Yeah, it started
Okay.
yesterday night.
So it's better to make it early. If your supervisor, for example, did not know how to do it, he have sometimes to discuss this issue with the department. So don't wait until last minute or last day.
Yeah, I will email him right now.
Yeah, this issue. Okay, that's all for today. Have a nice week and see you inshallah next week. Assalamu alaikum. Anything, any question, any issue?
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much.
Anything, we can communicate using Telegram group inshallah.
Inshallah.
See you. Assalamu alaikum.
عليكم السلام.